You can tell it's a full moon out today, New Yorkers. You most certainly can. It's been a morning of just nut stuff. So, good morning. You are watching The Morning Boner on HTLA Radio 1 New York and listening. You might be listening, you might be watching. I don't know. But don't be surprised if we have a special guest visitor running around, little Easter bunny popping around. We've had some childcare issues this morning. So, yeah, he's not happy. He's not a happy camper. Everybody, you want your astrological forecast for the morning? Be careful. It's full moon, lunar eclipse, bad aspects all around. Be extra careful. Stay home today. Put the covers over your head. I would if I could. There you go. So, are you going to speak?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I didn't want to have to do this show and my show tonight by myself. So there you go.
You're supposed to do your show tonight by yourself.
Right. I didn't want to have to
It's your show by yourself.
By myself. I don't want to do this show by myself tonight. But
good thing it's not the morning boner at night. So
right. Okay. So we got some great stories for you today that we're working on. That we've done one on Fox already.
Great if you happen to have some Black Lives Matter people you can kick in the nuts.
Yeah, like I said, it's a bad day today, and the stories are kind of adding to that bad news. We have legislation in what state was it again? I can't remember.
Rhode Island.
Okay, legislation coming in Rhode Island that is suggesting that parents are going to get in trouble with the law if they leave children under 7 alone in a house or a car, children under 10 alone at home, and older children at home alone in the evenings. So this is the proposed legislation that is going on in Rhode Island this morning. We just did this story on Fox. There's some conflicting opinions about it. So
not only conflicting opinions, let's be honest here, there's conflicting laws. What happened to the national movement and national federal law last year? 13 years old, her holes, her choice. Really? So she can go and have sex, but we have to take care of them at home.
Yeah.
No.
Good point. Okay. I forgot about that. That's true. It's all very conflicting. And
do we have to watch while they have sex?
I think that the whole entire issue and purpose here is there's too many cooks in the kitchen. There's too many cooks spoiling the broth. There needs to be one, there's too many agencies. There are too many activist groups. There's too many, everybody's putting their opinion in with only their, subjective opinions. So everybody's screwed up. It's just all screwed up. I'll say that quite often on all of these shows that we do. It's all just screwed up. So we need to, I think, get just one, body of.
There should be a body and nobody. Try parenting.
Yeah, that's true too. I mean, stay home. God knows we do, and that's fine. That works. But there does come, not everybody has that luxury too. And
and we just had a story not 4 days ago last week about the Major League Baseball player who just left baseball because they didn't want his kid in the dugout anymore.
Right. Concur.
I don't want my kid in the audio studio when we're doing shows.
Well, sorry though. Stuff happens, and when the babysitter cancels, I'm not leaving him home alone at 3. So
yeah, heaven forbid we asked a 16-year-old to do something.
Yes, well, that goes without saying. So it's still a better judgment call, I think, on my part to have him with us. So.
Well, that's clearly from your perspective. I think there's a lot of people that would have a different perspective, including police officers. They might not want their fucking 3-year-old in the back of their car.
Well, nobody said you had to bring parents to work. Where's Biffo with the censorship issues this morning?
He doesn't work the morning show.
Well, he's going to have to start if you're going to be in this kind of mood. Anyway.
You need to... No.
Anyway, so we talked about that. And Kempton actually brought up a good point, though. He comes from an Asian culture. And in Asian cultures, kids at 8 years old are already, taking care of 6-year-olds. And the 6-year-olds are taking care of the 3-year-olds. And that's just the way it goes. So it's a cultural thing, too.
And I bet you they don't have ADD and ADHD and, I can't do this because I'm a pussy. And,
all right. Well, fair enough.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Like I always say, This country has raised a generation or two of neurotics and all these other kinds of things that weren't around 25 years ago.
Oh, yeah. But I'm a bad parent when I press the issue
No.
because the little morons can do it. They just choose not to.
Well, unfortunately, they're conditioned now by the society in which they live in. They don't live in ours where we grew up and just had to suck it up.
That's
and
right.
do it.
So you know what, iPhone, you go ahead and keep raising the kids. They're your responsibility.
Right. Well, what do we do, though? That's what I'm saying.
What do we do? We lay down the house rules and we enforce them. And we enforce them by whatever means necessary we deem, not some Mandarin group out there.
I agree. But we have to also keep in mind that society's laws have changed to the point where a great deal of the things that once worked aren't permissible anymore, and all these other kinds of things. So, So anyway, that's the first story that we covered today. And we'd like to know what you think about it. So if you're watching live on Google+, send us a Q&A, or you can always just email us at studio2@newyorksbesttalk.com, right? Maybe we can tweet about it later too. We should start tweeting about the topics after the morning boner and seeing what they say.
Yeah, I got nothing but time. Sure.
And we can follow up, the next day with tweets that have come in. So that would be good. Well, maybe I can do that if I actually ever get some time myself. Okay. So you have anything you'd like to add before we throw ourselves into weather?
Oh, yeah, all kinds of things. Number one, I'd like to know where the media gets off even printing stories like this.
Okay.
Since when does any media outlet inform us about how the government is going to take over the job of parenting? That's number one. Number two, this does nothing to stop abuse.
Right.
Where the hell did the story go? This does nothing to stop abuse. At all. We're talking about leaving kids in cars. We're talking about leaving kids at home. We're talking about having kids have to be supervised. Yeah, where the hell is all this coming from? Number one, that's what I'd like to know. Who is the pushing force behind this? It's certainly not the Rothschilds.
No, they have nannies and such.
Well, this is kind of my point. So where is all this crap coming from? And where would any journalist in their right mind think that it's okay? Yeah, great. Yeah. It's okay to write about how people should be parenting their kids. And it's okay for legislatures to actually waste taxpayer time. That's just freaking awesome.
Go ahead, keep going. See,
there's no point because right here, I've already lost.
Moms are multitaskers. Dads get distracted by every little thing. See, that's why dads go off to work by themselves and moms stay home and multitask. Right. Okay, we had a talk. You were supposed to stay outside of the office in the studio, right? You were supposed to stay out there. Okay. So anyway, good points all. Not that they're not good points, but, again, it's not just our opinion that counts. And, how do we influence the majority opinion now that it's gone so far left? How can we swing it back to middle or right? And this is what we actually are going to talk about parenting tonight on Lonely on Top. This is the second episode of my show. And last week we talked kind of about the origins of feminism and all kinds of stuff like that. And tonight we're going to talk about how it's influenced the family foundation in this country and, the unforeseen consequences of initiating that whole entire movement back then. So yeah, we'll have some interesting topics about that. And, just, hey, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, maybe even longer now, what the whole latchkey kid thing came up. Because, parents were working or there were single parents and, they couldn't be home after school for the kids. And I have to say, my whole big thing with the kids ever since I had my daughter 16 years ago was being home when they got home from school, because that was some of my fondest memories.
That's a woman's job.
Well, I agree, but I also still went to school. I also still, did the things I needed to do. That was a personal choice, like we talked about the other day. When we did the baseball story, that I chose to have a more simple life and not work the full-time job and put the kids in daycare just to have the bigger paycheck, et cetera, et cetera. So, it's a choice, and people are going for the material, the McMansions and putting the kids in all the activities and all these kind of things, rather than just staying home and simply doing things with them. So, yeah. Oh, it's okay. It's bring your kid to work day. Yeah, we'll just make it bring your kid to work day. That's right. Okay. So we do have traffic or weather or something, don't we?
Yeah, after the commercial break.
Okay, that sounds good. So you just let me know. And I will switch you to commercial break. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to come back in 2 minutes and we're going to talk about a teacher who's got everybody up in arms for supposed racist comments that we read. They're not even really racist. But we'll talk about that when we get back. 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
For the best talk, there's only one. HTLA Radio 1, New York.
We're going to take a break. Don't touch that dial.
Too fat and lazy to come pick up a bazooka? Log on and have it at your door the next morning. Log on to ammunition.net. Try our motion-sensitive cluster bombs and shoot-to-maim automated firing gun turrets, which come ready to assemble in 284 easy parts. Ammunition.net also has a full line of generators so you can keep your fridge running and the beer cold through extended apocalypse. Need to stock up fast? The strongest will survive with our all-in-one Y2K kit featuring a tractor-trailer load of lager beer, redwood cigarettes, and enough firepower and ammunition to level a small country. Jesus. Y2K. It's coming, and you'd better be ready. Log on to ammunition.net now. Protecting your rights online.
If only the world was less like this.
I could use a smoke.
Hey, put that out.
And more like this.
I could use a smoke.
You murderer! I might have children one day.
Smoking kills, unless you kill first. If you're around a smoker, you will die. Smokers may look relaxed and like they're having fun. Don't believe it. Vote yes on Proposition 421. Let's outlaw smoking everywhere, even in people's homes, and allow honest citizens to legally kill anyone who smokes. Let's live in a world without smokers. Prohibition works. Let's prove it. Let's move up the food chain. It's time to smoke the smokers. Vote yes on Proposition 421.
You want your kids to be safe, so you give them a mobile phone. What are they going to do when they get attacked? Throw it at someone? Why not force the state to keep us all protected by arming everybody? The senile old lady in her home, the 3-year-old on the playground, the priest in his church. We think everybody should carry weapons at all times. That way nobody gets hurt. It's a proven fact. Where there's more guns, there are less shootings. Vote yes on Proposition 45. Mandatory concealed carry for everybody. The nuclear deterrent won the Cold War. Let's use the same logic and win the war on crime. Proposition 45. Teach your kids to protect themselves.
The apocalypse is coming. Will it be aliens, zombies, or a global financial meltdown? Whatever it is, you need to be prepared.
Get your complete apocalypse kit at Ammunition. Contains foodstuffs and alcohol for 3 months. A massive array of armaments. Water purifier so you can drink your own urine. And cyanide pills so you can go out like a man. Don't dial 911. Dial 357. Ammunition. Protecting your rights.
We're going to take a break. Don't touch that dial.
Too fat and lazy to come pick up a bazooka? Log on and have it at your door the next morning. Log on to ammunition.net. Try our motion-sensitive cluster bombs and shoot-to-maim automated firing gun turrets, which come ready to assemble in 284 easy parts. Ammunition.net also has a full line of generators so you can keep your fridge running and the beer cold through extended apocalypse. Need to stock up fast? The strongest will survive with our all-in-one Y2K kit featuring a tractor-trailer load of lager beer, redwood cigarettes, and enough firepower and ammunition to level a small country. Jesus. Y2K. It's coming, and you'd better be ready. Log on to ammunition.net now. Protecting your rights online.
For the best talk, there's only one. HTLA Radio 1, New York.
Oh, that's right. Are you back now? You back with us? We're going to do the second half, and it's going to be good, and it's going to be fun. Huh?
Not likely with the story you got, no.
Oh, really? Well, that's true. The story is kind of upsetting, actually. So
it's not upsetting. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. And again, it's more people being persecuted for this crap from a terrorist organization.
I agree. I can't disagree. Theo Olson. He's a special ed teacher at Como Park High School in St. Paul, Minnesota. Now, if I can get it to scroll, because it's not behaving today for some reason. He had posted on Facebook a couple things that he felt were wrong with his school district and how they handled discipline reasons in high school. So I want to be able to read the actual posts to you. We're trying to, the page is frozen for some reason. Anyway, the Black Lives Matter group got all up in arms, saying that they were being discriminatory and all this kind of stuff. And in these posts, honestly, there is not one racist comment in here. He talks about how basically the school district is letting the teenagers just run wild, do whatever they want. They're on their phones 24/7. They're playing Facebook games. They're doing all these kind of things instead of learning. They're dealing drugs. They're having sex in the schools. They're, doing all this kind of stuff, and no one is stopping it. They took all their recourse away for disciplining them.
According to the website that Olson wrote on Facebook, quote, anyone care to explain to me a school to prison pipeline my colleagues and I have somehow created or perpetuated or not done enough to interrupt? Because if you can prove it, the campaigns that you've managed to deconstruct adult authority in my building by enabling student misconduct, you seriously owe us real teachers an apology. Actually, an apology won't cut it, end quote. Also, he says, quote, iPhones and iPads, devices used for social media and gaming. There have always been rules for devices and devised levels of misconduct. Since we have no backup, no functional location to send to kids who will not quit gaming, setting up fights, selling drugs, whore trains, or cyberbullying, we are screwed. Just designing our own classroom rules.
I miss high school.
End quote. There is not one mention of a nigger in there,
No.
a black person,
No,
anything.
Nothing to denote any group.
No, there's not.
Except
and of course,
the kids.
But of course, now the Black Lives Matter St. Paul has charged that Olson portraying students as drug dealers and gangbangers in his Facebook posts about lack of district support on discipline matters.
Right.
Black Lives Matter had threatened to shut down action. What is shut down action?
What's a shutdown action?
What is
shut
that?
down the school?
At the school, if Olson is not fired.
Really?
Oh, really? This sounds just like the Ms. U. And then, oh, well, you're the white dean. You have to get out now.
Right. Yeah.
The football players aren't going to play football anymore.
Right.
You have to leave.
That's true. I remember that.
Yeah, and not only did he leave, one of the other executive members of the board left as well. Who the hell are these Black Lives Matter and what the hell? I dare them to come and tell me to leave.
Teachers' lives matter. How about that hashtag? Because without them, your kids stay stupid. How about that?
The kids are stupid because the teachers have no recourse anymore.
That's true, too. And, talking about childcare, like we just were a little bit earlier, basically schools have just turned into gigantic babysitting hubs because they don't educate anymore. We took our daughter out of school because she wasn't getting an education in school. So she's doing cyber school now. And
she's not getting one
she's
there
still
either.
Not getting quality education as far as, we're concerned. But, she wasn't getting any in school. Literally, they were going from, oh, well, here's some reading time. And no, it's time for lunch. And, all this kind of thing, So the whole educational system, full stop, has just gone to poop, I think. Totally.
Yeah, but I mean, that goes without saying that it was gone to poop 30 years ago.
Right. Well, now the homes are poop and schools are poop. So the future I'm really terrified for like my grandchildren's generation. I can't imagine what this country is going to be like in 20 years.
I don't care. I've written them off now.
I know.
Years.
He has, but I have not. And, I would do whatever I possibly could. And all I can possibly do is get the message out and hope that we can rebuild starting at the home.
Yeah, but sure, you get the message out on the morning show here, or you get the message out on Lonely on Top tonight, or I get the message out on Coffee and Cigarettes, or we get the message out on Straight Talk, or the message just magically gets out. It doesn't matter.
We're not alone,
Every single one of the people that listen They don't listen. Oh, yeah, that's a real big problem. What do they do in their life to actually change it? Nothing.
Well,
when have you ever seen anybody without the guise of, hashtag Black Lives Matter or hashtag this, that, or the next goddamn thing? When have you ever seen somebody actually rise up, organize, go to a school district and get something fixed? When have you ever seen a group actually organize and get motivated and go and face off with the federal government and change some of these things that have been changed to this retarded agenda? When is that stuff going to happen? It doesn't happen.
It doesn't. But
people are too busy with their iPhones and their video games or whatever the hell it is to be bothered with it. So too bad. Suck it up, America. This is what you get. Enjoy.
Well, that's what I say. People focus on all these inane, stupid things. In the meantime, like I said the other day, there's a mother in Texas who put her 2-year-old in the oven and cooked her. But we should really care about Black Lives Matter and all this other stupid stuff. As long as there's not one, until there's not one starving child in this country. Until, go to your real estate section. Every other house in this country is in foreclosure. Until people have safe homes that they can build homes and families again, what can we do to expect to fix, business or education or healthcare or anything? Because we can't. And I've said this, I've always said this, but without a solid foundation, you can't build anything. And homes are the foundation and families are the foundation, And I said this yesterday. In a Facebook post to Wayne Pierce, by the way. Hi, Wayne. That, there's no point in blaming the government because until there's a foundation, the government has to step in. People are idiots.
The ridiculous thing about Wayne Pierce and everyone else like him out there. Here, let's talk about that for a minute.
What, the conspiracy theories?
No. These guys go on and on all day posting over and over and over again all about how, Facebook's tracking you and Twitter's tracking you and Pinterest and every single thing you can think. When you just turn your computer on, the NSA knows about it. You know what? You're absolutely right. They do. You know what else? They know everything about you because you're on here posting about it.
Well, that's true.
My point is with that whole crap, if you really bought that conspiracy shit, you would not be on a computer anywhere.
Right. You'd be off the grid.
Talking about your chemtrails, that magically the same people who are apparently ordering these secret chemtrails all over the country, they're breathing the same air, you idiots.
I don't see people walking around gas masks not breathing chemtrails. Yeah, that's true. That is kind of silly.
It's just retarded.
But this is my point. We focus on these inane, ridiculous things instead of what really matters.
Well, there you go.
And even you look at like the most serious people on the planet, the people in Washington. And even they, what do they focus on? They're jogging, their Starbucks, their meetings, their gala dinners after work and all these other things. And nothing ever really gets done. Lobbyists, I got news for you, not going to help. Another reason the Democrats never get anywhere is because they spend their time banging at the gates instead of, all these things. They've got some great changes that should be made, but they're going about it the wrong way. They need to make friends with the people who can make the changes.
That's another bitch I got. Not just Black Lives Matter this morning. No, President of the United States sitting at the goddamn baseball game yesterday in Cuba, watching a bloody baseball game in the third inning, gets informed that the terror attacks in Brussels, the airport and a station, a train station are blowing up. What does he do? He sits there for another 6 innings, finishes the game, takes Michelle out shopping after that. Then they go back to the hotel and get changed. Then they go back with El Presidente to have frickin' dinner because he's too busy being all historical.
Yeah.
And the guy who has 74% of this country's interest and attention, what is he doing? He's not even in the job yet. He is out there yesterday and he is being a leader and he is being a president and he is consoling people and he is addressing these issues and he is saying all the things that he would do if he could. But
so much so that the president of Brussels sent out a message how much he supports Trump and was grateful for all his things.
Absolutely.
And that's So yeah.
Well, there we go.
I guess there's hope for change. If this occurs, maybe there's some hope for change. Because he'll listen. When we say, hey, why don't you look at this? He'll actually look at that. He won't be, I have to consult with my cabinet before I look at that.
Obama doesn't even give you that courtesy at all.
I know. Well, this is definitely a full moon Happy hump day. It's Godzilla Wednesday. We didn't even do Godzilla. Ugh, so upset.
Oh, well, there's still time.
Everybody looks forward to Godzilla Wednesday. I know I do. Okay.
Actually, this is Good Morning Godzilla. Godzilla Wednesday is actually coffee and cigarettes. So.
Well, no, you started it on here now. So, oh, it's Good Morning Godzilla. Okay.
Yeah.
Good Morning Godzilla. Okay.
Yeah.
Godzilla. There you go. Okay, sounds good to me. And as we're not exempt, we're not exempt from the same issues that everybody else faces. Far from it, And this is a part of the problem with the world. I hate to call out a certain group of people, but I can't. I look at the difference between like the Kardashian clan, that entire morphing of, I don't even know what to call them really.
Glorifying retardation.
I mean, it's just unimaginable how we support all that and give these people exposure when you can go to any town in any state in this country and, there's going to be homeless people. There's going to be kids that are starving. There's going to be kids whose parents are either never around and neglecting them or, abusing them or, the handful of actual families that are trying to make it. They can't get support because nobody understands what the trials of a whole real family are anymore. I mean, it used to count for something when you said. Well,
yes, we do. We watch it on a reality show.
Yeah, well, that's not what I'm talking about. Mama June and Honey Boo Boo isn't what I'm talking about. So I mean, real whole families, mother, father, kids, dog, the whole shebang, trying to make it work. Those issues have kind of gone by the wayside in this guise of the new model for the family, which is either singularity or God knows what else. So there's no set of core issues to address because there's just too much randomity and craziness, and we epitomize and idolize families. God, could we even call them that? Like the Kardashians.
Yeah.
And it's unimaginable to me. I mean, Vogue, I'm so disappointed in Anna Wintour, even though, I love Vogue and all that stuff, but she had a rule that no Kardashian ever would be anywhere on Vogue until Kim married Kanye. And now they're all over Vogue because she's a friend of Kanye's.
Yeah, there's another guy who needs a bullet.
That's what I'm saying. She had a standard and she was adhering to it. And just because Kanye kind of insinuated himself into the fashion industry, I'm sorry, you can't call anything they do or wear fashion. Sorry. Anything they create as fashion. What happened to that industry? I'm so utterly depressed about that whole thing. It's like, yeah. And all their stuff is made. I found out all the stuff that's made in the Kardashian collection line, it's all made in sweatshops in China.
Yeah.
They don't care, you know, and yet people are buying them and they're idolizing them and they're, allowing them all these kind of things.
And they're paying primo dollar for this brand like it's Louis Vuitton.
Yeah. And well, not that much, thank God. But,
well, no, but
they were
still up
enough.
there for a goddamn pair of shoes.
Yeah. They were smart enough to, go into the kind of middle areas like Kohl's and stuff like that. So, wannabe Kardashians can, yeah, it's just shocking.
Live the dream.
Yeah, it's just shocking.
Well, there's a dream we're leaving you with this morning. We got to get to Brock with the traffic.
Hello, everybody out there. This is Brock Favors with traffic on the ones. Chad Armstrong is out sick today. So
all right, Brock, thank you.
Quick and good. Quick and dirty.
Dick Gently with your quick outlook this morning, Dick.
We had beautiful weather here for this weekend, mostly sunny skies and highs in the upper 80s. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy, mild with those temperatures dropping down into the mid 70s.
All right, sounds good. Don't care.
Yeah. Well, at least it's getting warmer around here on the East Coast, thank God. So
it is, but I just heard from Glen Woods this morning that they got like a foot of snow there, Gillette, crazy. Wyoming. Yeah.
Oh, well.
All right, gang. Well, we're out of here. Have yourselves a great day, or at least a better one than I'm having.
Yeah. Be careful.